Hey everybody, this is Economic Ninja. This isn't my channel. It's somebody else's channel. So we're just going to try and run with this and see where this goes. All right, let's do this. Hey everybody. Again, Economic Ninja. I am with LitecoinLeader. LitecoinLeader, how you doing?
Doing good, Travis. I appreciate you having me on today.
I don't know who's Travis. Who the heck is Travis? They keep saying this word.
Ninja.
Thank you. Economic Ninja. I'm messing with you. I got some shaky hair today. I'm ready to rock and roll. I've never interviewed somebody on another channel, but yet we're going to talk about some topics that I'm going to talk about. So how do we do this?
I don't know. We just got to go with the flow, I guess.
All right, I want to talk about the downturn in Bitcoin. Everyone's talking about how it's going to go up. I want to talk about how it's going to go down. What do you think?
Well, everybody's talking about that because there's going to be that psychological barrier when we're going to get over 70 and it's going to run and then it's going to hit its head on 100K. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, wow, 100K. There's going to be a pullback. And I think that's going to be a psychological barrier that people are going to have to get overcome. But odds are it's going to come back, retrace back to the 60 or 70 range, this previous high, and then it'll go back up. But that's the time where you might want to cash out some, not financial advice, of course, but you can cash out some and diversify a little bit, maybe into silver or something else.
So that brings up a good point when you talk about $100,000 Bitcoin, because economists all over the world have been calling for $100,000 Bitcoin this year or next year, possibly. I think one of the most famous calls in the crypto sphere is from Max Kaiser, where he's calling for $220,000 Bitcoin. Now, with that being said, I am a big believer that people are going to lose their minds when it hits 100 grand. I believe that you're going to see everybody start diving in. People are going to be putting money on credit cards. They're going to be selling their houses, selling their newborns to buy Bitcoin. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they are. I think that if they're not now, they're crazy. They should have been buying when it was cheap, but of course, that's just the way that people are. They just FOMO in when it goes into, they fear missing out. They just throw it in when it gets to the all-time high and they just throw it in. But I mean, you have Plan B, Max Kaiser, all calling for 100K or higher. And there's a lot of people that are just touting the upside with the rose-colored glasses, but Bitcoin tends to retrace over time. Long-term, if you step back and zoom out, of course, it's going to head up to a couple 100,000 or more, maybe even $1 million in a couple of years, but it's going to be sawtooths all the way up to that point.
Yeah, I believe we've seen 90% corrections in Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure it's for sure 3. I'm pretty sure 4. And it's interesting because here, this video we're going to record, I think we won't push it out, or you may not push it out for a week. So it's going to be interesting to see where the price is. I am expecting another dip, a pretty good dip into the very low 50,000 range this weekend. I was calling for that last week, not on my channel, but to some of my friends. And so we're waiting for another dip, but it might very well be $65,000, $70,000 when this video comes out.
Yeah, Thanksgiving tends to be an upswing, and just going back to 4 years ago, just the same timing, because Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle with a halving. The holidays are a time when people go home, they talk about Bitcoin and people get into it, and there's typically a bump from now until Christmas running into New Year's. And also it's not the same as 4 years ago. We have a lot of institutional money coming in right now. We saw a lot of people there at Mark Moss. There was a lot of suit and tie crowd that were there that would not be there 4 years ago. So it's a different climate altogether.
Yeah. And to say that it's a different climate because you have the institutional buyers, that means that the volatility and the ferocious sort of behavior of the upswing could be even gnarlier than 2017, to quote, a surfer, gnarlier. So what do you think it's going to be like when people start to lose their minds and faces are melting off at $100,000 Bitcoin, and you're the one saying, hey, I would start looking to take profits? What do you think kind of reactions you're going to get from friends, family, or just coworkers?
One of the hardest things to do, no matter if you've been in this for 5 years like I have been, or just a few months, is to sell when it's going up, because you see those green candles and you think it's going to go up, up, and up. But that's why you need it. I talk about it a lot on my channel. You need to have a plan. Don't let the market dictate to you, dictate to the market. So if you think that the right exit strategy is 100K, buy back in at like 70, 80, and then ride it up some more, run that plan. But I think that the economics of the world right now are just so crazy with everything going on. We got the inflation, and hyperinflation is right around the corner, and people are looking for just anywhere to run to preserve their wealth. So Bitcoin could run up, it could run down, but you've got to have a plan and just act upon it accordingly.
I remember I sold about 8 Bitcoin and traded it for silver back when Bitcoin was like $6,000. And it sounds crazy, but I still look at that as an amazing win, because the psychology of doing that, when it was going up and it was rising and rising, and I took that win and I bought silver, physical silver. I still have the silver, obviously, and obviously it's not worth as much as the Bitcoin would be. But the point is that that was a win. And for years, after Bitcoin topped at 19, it dropped down to around, I don't know, was it $3,800? I could have taken that silver and rebought almost twice as much Bitcoin as I had sold originally. And so today it's still that win. I just didn't do it because I had other things going on financially, and so I was just busy. But yeah, I think it's very important. I think that's a great point you bring up. You've got to be able to dictate to the market. You call the shots, and win is a win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hindsight's 2020. You can always look back and say what it could have, should have, but have a plan. Be happy that you they say you never go broke taking a profit. So be happy that you got what you were looking to get out of it. And then if you can get what you wanted, if you buy some silver and get the same amount of Bitcoin back in, that's a total win. You can't always time it that way, but have a strategy, have a plan, and don't be afraid to enact it. But there's a lot of people like also subscribe to that you make most of your money by putting all in on one target, but you diversify later on after you made your wealth. So you can play both sides of the fence and do a little bit of both, and just kind of like average out and just hedge your bets a little bit.
Exactly. Making money is one thing. Keeping it after you made it is a whole nother animal. And now for people that are coming over to this video right now that are my subscribers, I'm sure you've never watched me interview somebody on somebody else's channel. Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, help Jeff at the LitecoinLeader out, because he has been trying to get the word out about cryptocurrencies. He is a silver bug, and just giving good information, real information. Now, with that being said, Jeff, because we can't go too long, what was your thought about the disruptors and the energy level of the people at the disruptors? And I'm talking about the people like ourselves that were going to watch the big speakers there. What was the attitude like?
I think the overwhelming trend was that we're seeing the dynamics. I mean, we actually saw on Friday when we had two different conferences going on at the same time in the same building, we saw the dynamics of like the original Bitcoiners, and then we have the institutional money coming in. It's kind of like we're seeing the maturity of Bitcoin and the entire crypto space. The space is only 12 years old because that's as old as Bitcoin, but a lot of projects are only 44 or 5 years old. Back again to the peak of Bitcoin at 2017, a lot of these projects were just white papers and dreams at that time. Now we're actually seeing the maturity, and the things are like, and that's where the institutional money is starting to come in. So this is a real asset, and it's also a haven to protect your wealth, because they're not making any more Bitcoin, but they're making plenty of dollars these days.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's almost like this is the greatest time to be alive as an investor, because we are literally watching an invention greater than the internet, the decentralized blockchain, forming right now and exploding. But with that said, there's going to be a lot of crazy cryptocurrency projects that people put a lot of money into and that evaporate someday, like pets.com. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that's why when I talk a lot about altcoins as well on my channel, and I kind of favor projects that are platforms, much like Ethereum, where you can build on top of them. That gives you diversification for owning one coin. So you own like an Atom or a ZIL or a Theta, which a project you like, and just owning projects like that, where Polkadot, and you just have like all these different projects that build upon them. So owning one coin gives you exposures to hundreds, maybe even thousands for owning just that one.
You're absolutely right, because there's some projects that are built on Ethereum, and Theta was one of them in the beginning until they became, did their own mainnet, where Ethereum would benefit from the invention of Theta, because so many people were needing to buy Theta on the Ethereum blockchain, move it around. So the fees were associated with it. So even though you haven't picked that unicorn coin that's going to explode, if you pick the right rails or the blockchain that it's being built on, then you're actually being able to share its success. That's a great point.
Thank you, Ninja.
Yeah, you have nothing to say now at that point, huh? Now we're transitioning. Or am I interviewing you, or are you interviewing me? So no, and you know what? We don't want to keep this short, so we're going to close this here. But I really do appreciate you letting me come onto your channel and interview you, because this is probably a YouTube first.
Well, I appreciate the exposure, Ninja. I've been following your channel for a long time. I've seen it grow over the past year, and your message is great. And I've tried to emulate some of that and add my own spin to it, because I've been in real estate, I've done crypto, I've got a lot of different exposure from starting up companies. So people with experience just need to give back and allow this community, and they watch all these different channels to get the different viewpoints, because it's a lot going on out there. It's hard to stay on top of it all.
Absolutely. And again, guys, with that being said, you're on LitecoinLeader's Jeff's channel right now. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. I love watching channels double in size. I didn't have this help, and it is a hard grind. And how long have you been doing this for, Jeff?
I started in April. My website and my YouTube channel launched back on April 1st.
Okay, and how many subscribers as of this video recording do you have, if you remember?
I have 500 on YouTube today.
Dude, let's see that double, guys. Let's just crush it for Jeff. And because I remember, seriously, guys, it's hard work. It is really hard work. So with that being said, guys, thank you, Jeff. The Economic Ninja is out. You got to hit the stop record button.
I will hit that. Yes, I will.